Yeah, this sucks. In today's rant, I'm mainly just talking about just the nicotine, the vapes. And one of the reasons why I talk about these vapes is like I know at least 14, 15, 16-year-olds, and now I have a problem with this, bro. Sole reason is because like everybody, and I mean everybody, seems to be addicted to these vapes. Now, I'm not no better than them. I definitely own me a vape and I do be puffing it, but it's like, damn, everybody is caught up on this shit, bro. And the worst part is, for most of them, it's not even their fault, bro. I think I can go down the line and specifically think of multiple vape brands. And I mean multiple since I've been like 16 all the way up until now. And there's at least like exponentially 10 times more. Just to give you a simple but very exhaustive list of this, you got Elf Bar, you got Breeze, you got Sea Breeze, you got Breeze Pro, you got Mr. Vapor Sticks, you got Mr. Vapor Glow, you got Mr. Vapor Flex. Like, come on, bro. And you expect me, a young, bright, and hopefully intelligent to most of y'all that hear me, man, to think that somebody is not profiting off of this addiction, or at least starting it, because like you know what they're doing. I'm about to take y'all a little back, like little baby story time, little baby one. And I'm about to tell you about like my experience of being around vapes and why I think this is a problem. We gotta fix this, bro. Like, we have to just stop vaping. So my first experience, I was like 13, 14. I was at this bonfire with some of my homies, right? And while we're at this bonfire, like me back then, I'm not gonna sit here and say like I was the victim of peer pressure, but peer pressure kind of got to me. I'm not gonna lie to you now. And so my homie was like, oh, you wanna hit this, bro? This is a vape. And me back then, I'm like, what the hell is this? Why do you have this in my face? What are you doing with this? And so, you know, the open-minded, non-peer pressure guy you know me as, I hit it. And like the feeling of it was weird. And after that first moment, I would say like I didn't touch a vape for like years on end, right? 14, 15, 16, 17, and then it's finally my senior year in high school, right? You know, at this point, I didn't hit the little box mods. I know you remember them big ass, big nasty vapes, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the ones that basically look like a baby Android Nokia phone in your pocket. Ones with the big fat coils that look like chimney stocks or whatever it's called. I could go on for hours. Them things look like straight mufflers popping out your right pocket. Like, take that out, bro. But anyway, we're getting past the box mods. I think the box mods back then had like 3 to 6% nicotine. I don't really know what they do anymore. So my homie, he brought in this 50 nic, bro. And I mean to tell you, this 50 nicotine vape in this small little itty bitty package. Like, imagine this, but like a quarter of the size, right? And it was called a Soaring Air, bro. And he was like, bro, this is gonna make you super dizzy. You're gonna be knocked against the lockers, bro. And me, I don't know if I felt played by this, but I was like, shit, I'm a vet in the streets, bro. You're not gonna catch me down like that. I'm not no punk, bro. You're not gonna punk me. And then I hit this vape, right? The only thing weird about this one is like when I was like 14 or 15, I don't even remember the age at this point. But when I was younger and I hit this and I didn't really know the feeling, I felt this now. And this feeling, if you don't know what it is, fortunately you don't know what this is, but if you are a Nick fiend, you definitely know. I'm talking about head rush. It felt like you was melting. I'm talking about bodies buzzing, fingers tingling, headache. Feel like a headache, but it ain't even really a headache, and you just feel calm from this. And guess what you feel like? You feel like the TV static. You remember like the big box TVs and you stuck your hand on the side of it? It felt like the little prickly static over there, like you was gonna shock yourself. And imagine that around your whole body. No wonder this is an addicting feeling, because it only really lasts for like 30 seconds tops. And as soon as it ends, guess what you about to go do? You want to have that feeling again, do you not? And so when you got this feeling in your body coursing through your veins, you're chasing that next high, bro. But knowing vapes and knowing nicotine a little bit better, I can speak on these addictive properties, bro. You turn into a damn gremlin, bro. I'm talking about the first time after that little buzz go away and you rip it a couple more times and then your homie take it away from you, you sitting there itching. You like, I need another hit. And if you're smart and can read in between the lines, you know exactly what else you look like. And this is the start of all this, because after that little loop, you can either choose to just quit, have the headache, have the little whoop-de-woo withdrawals, and then now you're done. Or you could always chase that high, and now boom, you're stuck with an addiction. You're 22 years old, and now you're mad you can't quit because now you're just stuck with it. And then I'm gonna rewind it back to the younger ages, right? The biggest problem with all these vapes is the fact that like younger kids are getting their hands on it, bro. I'm talking about kids who are in middle school. And what the vape really is a replacement for is cigarettes. There is no way Algebra 2 pre-algebra is really stressing you like that. I refuse to believe you need to vape about that shit. And that's not even on the kids. That is mainly on these companies, because you know what they do? They give them popsicle flavors, fruit flavors, dessert flavors, everything that sounds appealing to younger people, because they don't want the harsh reality of what a cigarette is. They don't want to taste tobacco. Like, who just volunteers to smoke a Marlboro Red? Now, if you smoke cigarettes and you like Marlboro Reds, I'm not coming at you, but I'm saying most of the people that vape don't really want to taste tobacco, let's be honest. And going back to my other point from the beginning, you start to realize that there are so many brands capitalizing on the same thing. And there's so many brands at this point, it starts to make you really realize, like, are these things even safe for us in the long run? Because yeah, you get this little short-term buzz effect, you get this little feel good in your face, your chest, your body, or at least you're chasing it because you're addicted. Later down the road, do you really know what this is gonna do to you? I think to date, there has not been like any conclusive research on what vapes do to you, but the scariest part is that we don't know. Once again, not advocating for cigarettes, but one of the biggest things is that at least you know it kills you, right? There's something with like vapes that has like a plausible deniability. It's like, well, I don't see any research that says it's gonna kill me, so it must be safer than cigarettes, right? No, that is not the take you want out of that. That's stupid. Please don't be that person. Like, just no. And kind of because of all of that, we're kind of stuck in this weird place with vapes, because how can the FDA truly approve it when they don't even know what's going on in it, but they can't stop the sales? And there's been kind of government regulation to try to curb and stop younger kids from buying vapes, but the only problem is it doesn't really stop the problem. It seems like the more that you try to ban something, the more lucrative and the more creative people get with trying to find these items. Let's take prohibition, for example. They tried to ban alcohol, and you see how well that went. Then back then they said, we gonna get drunk regardless, illegal or not, I'm going to feel that liquor. Like, imagine that back in the day, Casamigos, they were probably tripping back then. When was prohibition? Was that like 1910 to 19? Anyway, it definitely was 20th century, okay? And you see, you now have this problem where you have either the 21-year-olds who are buying it legally and passing it down, or the 18-year-olds with a fake, and now they're just buying vapes end on end for their nephews, their nieces, their sisters, and their younger brothers. Like, this is just the cycle we have to deal with when it comes to trying to ban something. And don't get me wrong, I definitely think it's something good that should happen. Like, especially with these vapes, without being tested, something has to be done to at least curb the damage of what people are doing. I don't remember where I read this, but it was like on Twitter or something. There's specifically one country that kind of banned the sale of cigarettes past anybody the age of 2009, I believe. To clarify, basically, if you're born in 2009, you can't buy cigarettes, but anybody born past that or before that, you can still buy them. It's a way to, I guess, to kind of curb it out and be like, well, if you're still old enough to make the decision, you still can. I would arguably say that's kind of like the course of action that we're taking, but it's just not gonna hit that way. Like, I know way too many teenagers and I know way too many young adults that are way too sneaky to get some of the shit they want. You mean to tell me if somebody is fiending for some nicotine and all they need is $15, somebody's not gonna buy that for them? Arguably, you could say that's for everything, but like, let's look at the vape situation here. It's not as deadly, quote unquote, as alcohol. It's not as illicit as other drugs to get. It's a very commonplace thing, just like cigarettes, that people can just pass around, man. And I kind of think about those, like, what are they called, truth commercials back then, where they were trying to get people to stop smoking, specifically like teen smoking. It worked, I guess, but one of the biggest problems with it is that everybody might have stopped smoking traditional cigarettes, but now everybody's vaping. It's gonna be kind of weird to think that everybody that's vaped and still addicted or whatever they have are gonna be in a fucking research paper studying the epidemiology of lungs or some shit, bro. And you know, kind of speaking on it, that's kind of a scary thing to think about, which is why I want to just band together and have a very good PSA on this one. It's just like, let's all collectively try to stop vaping, bro. Like, yes, it's safer than smoking traditional cigarettes, but like, we don't even know what we're putting in our goddamn blood systems with these vapes, bro. It's not just nicotine propelling all of that. It's got to be like some weird aerosols. I don't really know what goes on. I just have a vape, right? Maybe we should put some critical thought into this and find ways to better make sure we do not get addicted again. And if you are, finding better ways to get out of that cycle. I guess like the hardest part too with a lot of people, and I kind of studied this when I was doing psychology work with addiction, one of the biggest biggest problems with like vaping, at least, is the problem of the oral fixation. And this mainly comes down to you've kind of incorporated vaping into almost every daily thing you do, to where the point that you try to stop, it almost feels like you're leaving a part of your lifestyle behind when you do stop. Like, think about all the people who hit their vapes. You hit your vape while you're driving, you hit it when you're eating, you hit it when you're just chilling with the homies. You hit it so much to where like you're probably just used to this motion so often, man. And at least trying to cut that out. And I think there's a video that I watched that kind of inspired this too. If I find it, I'll definitely throw it on top of the video here. But yeah, man, if there's anything y'all can get from this rant, is just like understand that we need to stop it. We can definitely blame these companies too, especially all the vape companies and all the people who are kind of profiting off of it. And which makes me kind of think, like, what happened to Juul, bruh? Like, what? Like, man, Juul ran this shit back in the day. Like, that was the only vape you truly knew about. It was the one adults had. It was the one the teenagers snuck in. It was the one college kids had. It was the shit. And then out of nowhere, that one got packed up. But the weird part is, you would think after like the juggernaut of what Juul is got packed up, I don't really know what they do now, but like there's so many other smaller vape companies to where it's like, damn, you knock out one and then 17 more fucking came back. Like, this is almost a losing battle to even fight. So instead of trying to fan the flames and trying to play basically health probability or statistics, just make your statistics 0 at this point, man. I'm definitely gonna be trying, because I'm definitely sick and tired of it, and I kind of use this video more of a diary again. I apologize, I still love y'all. But yeah, like, please, if there's anything else I can say, let's just all try to quit vaping, bro. It's kind of getting old, it's played out, it's no longer a trend, it's just an addiction at this point. It's no longer cool. But if you enjoyed this little rant about vaping, I guess, leave a like and comment your thoughts really on this. I know a lot of people that vape as well. I don't know the conversations or the feelings or the sensations y'all feel, so I'm kind of curious to know, if you do vape, what do you do it for? And subscribe, man. 718 subscribers I believe we are at right now, and brother, we are growing. Here it fucking come. But if y'all enjoyed that, subscribe, man. Look, I'm trying to come with the content however I can, whenever I can, wherever I can. No more excuses at this point, man. We're past that. But yeah, man, it's been Based On, people. Deuces.